So we need actually a lot less give to start up the program and start up an incentives program for people to add to the Angel Vault. And all the context is given in the forum post. I put it straight to a snapshot, kind of skipping the advice process with the new forum post because it's been an advice process of many months and many forum posts all about the same thing. But yeah, the vote duration is 7 days, so it should be done by next Sunday, and would love to get your guys' votes in there. So vote however you think, if you think that we should start the Angel Vault and the incentives program or not. But yeah, like all the context is given in the forum post, and if there's any questions, feel free to leave a comment in there and I'll see it and get back to you.
All right, you can find that link here, and the forum post is down in the agenda a little bit. We can get to it later. But if you hold Give tokens, you can vote on the Snapshot Proposal. And we've got a couple of proposals up in the Give Garden, the Entrando al Espacio Cripto, which is still pending in the Give Garden. And now we have the top up for the Give Economy smart contract audit.
It passed actually
It passed
this
already?
morning. Yeah.
Oh, great. And this one here is still pending, needs some support. This is, I think, because the price of Give has shifted since when we first did it, right? Is that why we have the second one?
Yeah, it was because the price of Give dropped a lot during the time that the proposal was active. So yeah, they were asking, I think, for like 40,000 US equivalent dollars, and the Give tokens that they got were a lot less than that. So this is kind of a top up it's a top up to like actually fund them for doing the work that we wanted them to do. So if you believe in this, go ahead and vote.
Well, security audit's pretty important, so I think we should all get in there and show our support if we can. And that looks like, oh nice, somebody moved it already. And then we've got active proposals in the NRGive DAO. We've got one for creating the NICE token and installing the token manager in the NRGive. That's number 147. We've got a few role proposals up. We've got Claire's role proposal, Mateo's role proposal, and my role proposal is up in the DAO for voting on. So go ahead and get in there and vote if you have NRGive tokens. And it looks like those are all of our active proposals in the DAOs. And now we move on to proposals in the advice process in the forum. It looks like there's one up for the Point Art NFTs for Donation project. Is there somebody that wanted to give some context about this?
Yeah, that was me. Thank you. I wanted to share with you the situation with this project. We started discussing with these guys how we could integrate their functionality into Giveth or something similar, so artists would be able to donate NFTs, and those collectors purchasing the NFTs would donate the cost of the NFT to the corresponding project, whichever project the NFT was linked to. That was the initial idea, or this is the idea. Before moving forward, we were talking with the people at Point Art to try to get a rough quote or a quote window price, and they gave us around 30K to develop and to audit the smart contract. Before moving forward, we wanted to get the feedback from different projects, especially those that use NFTs the most. And I had one-on-one meetings with several of them, and most of them encouraged us to implement this functionality. They think it'd be a good way for them to get funds. So at this point, we are waiting to get a quote from another source to get a reference and finally decide if we want to move forward paying whatever these guys are asking, which is around 30K US dollars. We can also develop in-house to the development team. Mateo and Sam has expressed their willingness to take a look and move forward, and finally check for some other source and that may be cheaper and do it or do parts of it, discussing and giving always an option to drop down the price to the guys at Point Art, as we understand that they should have the first option if we decide to move. But my main concern and this is what I would love to get your feedback, is if you guys think that 30K is something worth paying for the amount of money that we might be able to raise through this functionality. And some of you may not have had, previous NFT experience selling collections or so. It all depends a lot on the work, on the communication work that the groups do. At the end of the day, if you don't communicate, even the guys at Point Art, which they are donating everything to Ukraine, they are not having a big success. They have some people joining the Discord. I haven't checked lately. I have to check, but when I was checking, they barely had a couple of NFTs sold. So last thing I want is to move forward, develop all this, spend all this money, and have a functionality that's not being used that much, and it's not providing funds for the. And it's just something that resonates on my mind, and I wanted to get your feedback. So anyone who may want to share their feedback on my thoughts would be welcome.
Doesn't have anything to say. I guess I could. I guess for me, I think that right now with the way that the market has been, and it seems like NFTs in general, it's kind of a tricky situation. Some people are super for them, some people are super against them. So yeah, I think it's kind of hard to determine whether it's something that we should move forward on or not, especially for that amount of money. I don't know if anybody else has comments.
I have a question. So how long Point Art is already selling the NFTs? How long have they been testing this?
We've been talking with them for a couple of months, and they started selling them about a couple of weeks before or maybe 4 weeks before I got in touch with them. So maybe 3 months by now.
Oh, so that's quite a good amount of time to test it, right?
Right. Well, my concern is first, as Ashley said, spend that much, all that money for something that may not be, useful, or we may not succeed with the funds that we expect to get through this functionality. Maybe another option would be to make a test, one test, and with just one project that is really willing to implement it, and see if we could do that on a very low price, and see how that works.
I was going to suggest maybe
two
or three projects that could be the testing ones.
Right.
The one is
Giveth
just
projects as a test. Like, what if we experiment with our own projects, the Giveth ones, and see how that goes before we open it up to other projects.
Right. Because that could be probably quite easy to just deploy a contract that all the income goes directly to the wallet of the project, and we will see how much they spend and how much effort they put into communicating and trying to get the NFT sold, or at least they give it visibility so people know out there that purchase funds go. And after that, we can decide. So yeah, maybe I'm gonna be waiting to get the other quote from this guy that's developing the NFT collection for the Burning Man. And after I get that quote, we will see if we choose one or two or three projects. Maybe we can do that while in Barcelona, at Barcelona, and you guys know much better the projects than I do, and then decide if I get in touch with them. I suggest them if they want to move forward through, a small test, and see how much that would cost, and see how that goes, and could be an approach. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, I think doing a test is, totally a fine idea if we decide to go that way. But I really also think that the reason that Point Art hasn't had a lot of success is maybe two things. Like, one, because it's only for supporting Unchained Fund, And it's like kind of, a contentious thing like war in Ukraine. It's only this one project that the funds are going to. And then the second thing, which is probably even the more major thing, is that their comms is really weak. And I think that like, for something like this, like comms is extremely critical. It's like Giveth has like a good following on Twitter, and we have like quite an audience already. So once we implement this feature, it's like reaching out to our audience, I think, and getting, and like also doing like targeted outreach to like NFT projects to get them to donate, and then like create kind of partnerships like this. I think like the outreach and the communications part would be critical to the success of including this feature. I think if we just like create and don't talk about it, it won't be successful. And yeah, and then also another thing that I want to mention about this is like, so I'm right now with all these kite surfer Web3 people, and one guy who's involved with like Niftyfi, which is like an NFT lending app, who is at NYC, NFT NYC, and he was just like talking about the general feeling around NFTs in the space, and it seems like it's like people are super stoked that the price of the crypto market has been going down, because like now NFTs are on sale, and like people who are being attracted to the NFT space are not just like your crypto people, your crypto degens. It's like actually a lot of like artists and collectors. So it's like a whole other different market. So even kind of like the market sentiment with crypto right now is pretty bearish. People in the NFT space are like, it's sweet, now things are on sale, and they're getting like more excited about NFTs, and it's like really interesting. So it's like, I think again, it kind of like comes back to like our comms messaging and like who we target with this functionality being kind of like critical to success. But I want to talk more to this NFT guy here and see if I could get some feedback on this point art integration, and also with the Givers PFP thing. So I'll do that as well, and give you some more feedback on that, Santi.
Thank you, Lauren.
Yeah, please a forum post that people could leave feedback in or continue the discussion already created.
Yeah, let me just add the link of the forum post here on the document.
Perfect. Thank you, Santi. Okay, moving forward, it looks like Mitch is still not able to connect, so he probably wouldn't be able, I don't know, maybe somebody else has some information about where the NICE token is at. I know that it's up in Aragon right now, and it still hasn't reached quorum to pass, so please go ahead and vote there. But if anybody has any more information about the NICE token in status, go ahead and fill us in. Okay, moving forward, vesting. Mitch has proposed a final spec to proceed on the vesting. You can find that here. Looks like, wait, 1, 2. Oh, I thought there was another one. So this is talking about current contributors, future contributors, how we release the vesting. And so this affects everybody. If you haven't weighed in on the forum post, please go ahead and do so. Does anybody else have anything to add to this topic? Okay, and that brings us back to the Angel Vault. Lauren made this forum post that she was talking about, the link you can find here, and the snapshot has already gone up. Did you want to add anything else that you didn't already talk about, Lauren, or anybody?
I guess maybe just if anybody has any questions or things that I could just clear up also right now in the call about that. It's the forum post to set up an Angel Vault, which is a structured UniV3 liquidity pool. And then we're going to create an incentives program so that people add to the Angel Vault. It's the Angel Vault proposal is pretty cool because it protects the Give token from downward volatility by having kind of like a big UniV3 buy wall. And also it's like a farming program that offers fair rewards to liquidity providers, even though it's using UniV3. So it's kind of like a better version of the UniV3 pool that we had shut off before because the rewards were unfair and it could be easily gamed by experts. Yeah, so if there's no questions, I don't have anything else to say.
Well, quiet crowd today. And I think that brings us to the end of, oh no, give matching. We have give matching. And I think Mitch just made another big post in that forum post, like a big comment with a spreadsheet. You can play around with the numbers and see the ideas. Here, let me open it up and we can just look at it together. Yeah. So the different rankings, tokens that you'll receive, that they will receive for in the matching pool, and how we want to distribute those funds. I don't know too much more information about this, so I don't want to give any false information. And if anybody else wants to talk about it more, please feel free to do so. Okay. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the agenda. There's some PSAs here.
I think Chewy wanted to talk also about a proposal that he put up in the forum. It's just not on the agenda.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, thanks, Lauren. Thanks, Ashley. So really quick, I'm going to be sharing my screen just to give a little bit of context for anyone that doesn't know already. Okay, so giving a little bit of background. As most of you know, I'm based in Mexico City, and in the past, we have asked for Giveth support for a number of events, which are the Taoist Mexico City and Espacio Crypto proposal, which is the one that just passed retroactively. So there has been this support by Giveth and this effort to also maintain Giveth's presence in different kinds of events. So the latest proposal that we've been working out is something a little bit more in experimental grounds, but it comes from a very a personal vision, which is mostly that growing up outside Mexico City, I always had like this frustration that everything was happening in Mexico City. So I feel that the Web3 community has grown a lot in what's been gone and after what's happened in this year in Mexico City. So I feel that it's time to start decentralizing that, and given my professional background as like a tour manager and into the music business, we've been having this crazy idea with this band from my hometown called Necromorpho about using a tour as an excuse to onboard people to Web3 and in a way kind of like ignite different hubs and communities in smaller cities across Mexico where there is a lot of talent, but not a lot of information. So we started like signaling this proposal maybe like a month, 2 months ago, and then it started getting very, very serious. So we made a proposal to the Gnosis DAO, which is pretty much passing in like 6 more hours and has been getting just overwhelming support. So we requested 15K to make a tour across 14 different cities in Mexico, and using these like shows to onboard people. So at all moment we had this idea about including Giveth, but then like all of this like market conditions started happening, and it is a very, very tough times for many DAOs and for many common pools out there. So in a way, like we've been comprehensive with this and kept pretty much like the proposal in a very like signaling phase. But I feel that we have now like come to the point where I feel there's like a very like specific proposal that we could set up, and I wanted to ask for some community signaling. So providing a little bit of context on Lauren's latest reply. We described like exactly what we want to do with Giveth and how we would be using these Give tokens. However, because we've been struggling to like fit the budget, we've been cutting down a lot of costs. So right now we are at the point where we could make a proposal to Giveth. We still need like around 1.6K to make like the tour happen. So in the case we can find some support for like getting around 3K, we would be giving approximately half of these give tokens for people to donate as part of like the onboarding, activities. So um, so providing just a little bit more of context in this, and also after already participating in different events, we were also discussing the idea of offering like association, like an NGO onboarding in Mexico as a KPI. So if at some point the community would like to talk about onboarding a specific amounts of individual projects or NGOs or NGO campaigns, we are also open to this conversation. um, and yeah, just I mean, we know it's like tough times, and this is a very very experimental project that really has like surprised us, like how far it has come with different communities. So um, I know that there might be like some opinions on this. Some might be in favor, some might be against it. But I wanted to attend this call also for asking for open signaling around this proposal, and to see if we should move forward in a way and look for the support, or maybe look for other alternatives to make it happen. We already announced the dates. We already announced that it's going to be free to attend for people that arrive to the onboarding sessions. So yeah, it's already happening. It's just a matter of seeing if the community is interested in participating. So oh, and also just as a quick thing, if you go to the Gnosis forum, and also to Giveth to the Giveth thread, you can see a specific report on how the funds are going to be used. Not only Giveth's funds, but also Gnosis. And we intend to provide like transparency in all of the expenses, which is also making us very excited, because it's going to be the first like music tour that is going to be all like handled transparently in stable coins. So so yeah, we are also in the best like position to offer transparency on all of the expenses. So yeah, that's it for me, and thanks for this time.
Thanks, Chewy. I don't know, does anybody have any questions for Chewy about this?
I have a question. So Chewy, who will be facilitating like the tip parties, and like they'll be kind of talking about Giveth? Is like the distributing the give and then having people donate, that's like the main action within that thing. So okay, cool. So who will be like explaining Giveth and explaining like how to donate? And is there like, I mean, would we be able to get in touch with this person, or?
So the idea is to build like this show like a conversation. So we would be like speaking and making like brief introductions and follow-ups, and then a band is going to be performing say like 40 minutes, and then we're going to have like a set change of 20 minutes, and these spaces is where these talks are going to happen. So mostly these are going to be by me and the band members. And the way we want to do it is through Tip Party, through like this application. So we wouldn't be like, like maybe like doing like a specific presentation on Giveth, but we would be like explaining the functions like briefly, and recommending different campaigns. So let's say that the band has a list of 10 campaigns, and then per show we would be suggesting like so these are our 3 favorite campaigns, or 5 different campaigns, and we would be suggesting like, so pick one of these and make your donation, and if you make your donation you'll get a POAP, or you're going to be able to participate in this merch raffle, or similar ideas like that. So we want to be like very brief and specific about Giveth is a donation platform. If you have like some kind of charity project, it is always free. You can always upload your own campaign. And right now we're gonna be donating to whatever campaign you choose here. So this is gonna be part of like their first transactions and experiences in Web3. And also we've been already like doing it, but with smaller amounts of give. Because the band holds like weekly onboarding on Wednesday. So we've been using also Giveth as an onboarding tool already. And just like the easiest we pitch it to people as an onboarding activity, the easier they get it. So based on this experience, we want to be like very quick about it, and at the same time leave room for following up on more like information on Giveth by providing a web page for the band that is going to be giving additional information on the tools we use. So if people want to read more about, let's say, Giveth or Agave or any of the tools that we're going to be using, there's going to be like information so that people can follow up on that.
Cool. Awesome. It sounds really cool. I mean, it sounds like a super fun experimental thing. Yeah, I'll like vote in the forum and leave some comments. And anybody else, if anybody else has any comments or questions.
Okay, well, the forum post is linked here in the agenda, so feel free to go ahead and continue the discussion there. I think it also sounds like a lot of like really cool and a lot of fun, and a great way to get people, your first experience in Web3 donating to charity is pretty cool. So yeah, let's continue the discussion there. And before we move on to like our weekly PSAs, did anybody else have topics that they wanted to talk about in this meeting that they didn't get on the agenda? All right. Well, weekly PSAs, buddy review. If you haven't had a buddy review call in 3 months, schedule a call with your buddy. You can find the contributor feedback form linked here, as well as in the community call slides, and I think that it's in the governance channel as well. So yeah, fill out the form, give feedback for your buddies, give feedback for other contributors, and schedule your buddy call. Did you have anything to add for this stuff for Shell?
Good. Thank you so much, Ashley.
All right, awesome. And then last but not least, we've got the stipend for contributors to go to ETH Barcelona. The reimbursement is as follows: 80% for full-time, which is 30 hours and above, 50% for part-time, and anything under that, it's no stipend available. I think that there's also a form. Yeah, if you haven't filled out the form, please DM Jessie. She's in this call, so you can DM her and she will get you hooked up with the form. And the reimbursement will be done in Give tokens. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
On to everybody.
Ooh,
Can you guys hear me?
barely. I can hear you though.
Barely. Oh, that's great. Was there any questions or stuff that I should have answered from the agenda?
I think that it was just if you wanted to talk any more about the nice token stuff, that was one of the sections that we didn't talk much about because you weren't here. And the vesting.
Did anyone have any questions about what that vote is doing? Or does it seem clear?
I mean, the vote is just creating the token, right?
Yeah, so it's not sending anything, it's just creating it and allowing us to manage it.
Cool.
It already has quorum
Cool.
now.
Oh, yay.
Oh, great. Wonderful. It's probably because I did it too close to a weekend.
And
Okay,
then it was just
wonderful. That's all.
the vesting was the other thing, but
Vesting.
yeah.
Yeah, that's still in there. So we can always talk about it in the forum, unless there's any direct questions. But I'm arriving right now at the Giveth house, so
Ooh, exciting.
that's
fun.
my distraction.
Okay, well, if there's no other topics that we should touch on or announcements that need to be made, then I guess we can end the call a little bit early today. All right.
Thanks, Ashley.
No problem.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
really
you.
hard
Thank
to fill
you.
these.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Ashley.
covering.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, you have big shoes to fill, Mitch. You're the greatest governor out there. So if I didn't quite make the par, I'm sorry.
You did
I
great.
missed
You're
half of
awesome.
it, so you're good.
man.
Amazing.
Thanks. All right.
Nice work,
Have a
Ash.
good day, guys.
Bye.
Bye.